In this tutorial, let's have a complete walkthrough on creating this storytelling reel from start to finish. Its tools, its techniques, and its breakdowns, everything explained in detail, leaving no stone untouched. We will go through every step of the process, right from a one-liner idea, script creation, voiceover, editing, SFX, and much more. Don't forget to leave your comments and show some support by subscribing and leaving a like if you like what you see and want to see more of such stuff. Effective storytelling is a combination of 5 different pieces, and when they are used in the right mix, it brings a captivating output that holds the user through the story from start to finish. And what are those 5 essentials? Point number 1, content, also known as the script. Point number 2, audio or voiceover. Number 3 comes visuals. Number 4 is the editor with which you are editing the reel. And point number 5 is SFX. The inspiration for this reel was the what if videos, which is getting millions of views in TikTok and Instagram. And if you are someone who is doing the TikTok creativity program, knowing these secrets will definitely help you and your content stand out from the rest. I wanted to create a reel on a one-liner idea. What happens if all the social media platforms shut down for a day? So I went to ChatGPT and I asked the question, make me a 1-minute TikTok script for the topic. Make it exciting, captivating, and thrilling. You may not get the exact script on the first go, so you need to play it a few times to get the scripts and refine them as you get multiple options. So I just asked, give me a narration without short description and let that be in English language. So it generated a script which is around a minute. And let's take this script and generate a voiceover for this. Open Capcut, go to the text, select the default option and drag it down to the timeline. Come to the narration, copy a piece of it because the maximum characters you can have is 500 words in Capcut. So take a piece of it and put it in the text field here. Go to text to speech and select commentary mail, which is a pro option. Since I am using Capcut Pro, I do have access to a few more voices. Or else an alternative options is you can use 11 Labs. All you need to do is click on start reading. Give it some time to generate the text to speech, and once it's created, it will create a perfect documentary voice. So let's see a small sample of it.
Imagine a world where the digital heartbeat of our society suddenly stops.
It exactly looks and feels like a documentary voice. So let's do the same process for the rest of the pieces as well. And let's listen to it from start to finish once.
Imagine a world where the digital heartbeat of our society suddenly stops. What happens if all social media platforms shut down for a day? The impact would be felt across the globe. Communication channels would go silent. No status updates, no tweets, no likes. Businesses relying on social media for marketing would scramble. Without targeted ads and viral campaigns, how would brands reach their audience? But perhaps amidst the chaos, there would be a silver lining. Real-life connections might flourish once again. Communities could rediscover the value of genuine interactions. And as the sun sets on this social media blackout, one question lingers. Would we emerge stronger, more connected, and more mindful of our digital footprint? What do you think would happen?
Now that we have the voiceover, the next step is to go through it and trim the areas where we feel there is too much empty space. Now that we have the script and the voiceover generated with that script, step number 3 is to find the visuals. Now this is a time consuming process and I have used Midjourney for creating the images. But feel free to choose any free image generating options like Leonardo AI. Check the descriptions for a link that contains a PDF that includes all these prompts and the image generated with the prompts. To make the tutorial concise and to the point, I will provide those as an editing pack which you can find in the description box below. Import all the images into the editor and the next step is to align them based on the script. Here is where I like to do things slightly differently. My first priority is to find a captivating background score which can lift the vibe of the edit. And after going through the music section of Motion Array and filtering them based on the mood and the beats per minute, I ended up on this music called Rising. Check the description for the links to this. If you have a Motion Array subscription, you can download them from there. I cannot download and include them in the editing pack as these are copyrighted materials and a copyright strike can bring down my channel and I wanted to avoid any legal implications based on those. Once I have included the SFX into my timeline, the next step is to make our voiceover sound as well as the SFX the same length. So we need to hear the same from start to finish a couple of times. Lower the SFX sound to around -20 dB and towards the end I need to crop a bit so that the ending aligns with our script. It took me a few trial and error to get the nice transition towards the end that aligns the voiceover with the SFX. Let's listen to it and see how the end looks like.
Imagine a world where the digital heartbeat of our society suddenly stops. What happens if all social media platforms shut down for a day? The impact would be felt across the globe. Communication channels would go silent. No status updates, no tweets, no likes. Businesses relying on social media for marketing would scramble. Without targeted ads and viral campaigns, how would brands reach their audience? But perhaps amidst the chaos, there would be a silver lining. Real-life connections might flourish once again. Communities could rediscover the value of genuine interactions. And as the sun sets on this social media blackout, one question lingers. Would we emerge stronger, more connected, and more mindful of our digital footprint? What do you think would happen?
Now that is perfect. Now before lining up the image, I heard the audio piece a few times and there is a small clock tick sound that pops up every now and then, and that is the point at which I wanted to swap the images to make the visual align with the sound. To help you with that, you could add the marker as well. Let me show you how. There is a small marker icon in the timeline, or you could use the M key in the keyboard. Play the music.
Imagine a world where the digital heartbeat of our society suddenly stops. What happens if all social media platforms shut down for a day? The impact would be felt across the globe. Communication channels would go silent. No status.
So as and when you hear the clock tick sound, you could click on the M button in the keyboard and that will create markers which you can use as visual aids to place the image one after the other. I have already done that behind the scenes and let's take a look at the output till this point.
Imagine a world where the digital heartbeat of our society suddenly stops. What happens if all social media platforms shut down for a day? The impact would be felt across the globe. Communication channels would go silent. No status updates, no tweets, no likes. Businesses relying on social media for marketing would scramble. Without targeted ads and viral campaigns, how would brands reach their audience? But perhaps amidst the chaos, there would be a silver lining. Real-life connections might flourish once again. Communities could rediscover the value of genuine interactions. And as the sun sets on this social media blackout, one question lingers. Would we emerge stronger, more connected, and more mindful of our digital footprint? What do you think would happen?
Yes, the images are there, but it still lacks some spice. So let's bring that into our edits. If you select the image and go to AI Stylize, check the Style checkbox, and under the motion, there are two variations of 3D zoom. This one and this one. The second one is a subtle one and the first one is the larger one. Choose the one which you like and apply them for every single image. You could play around with the different options here, but I am going to go with these two options of 3D zooms. Applying the effect over every single image is slightly time consuming, and so I have already done that behind the scenes, and if you just move the mouse over individual images on a glance, you can certainly see that the image has got the 3D effects and the overall output is much more dynamic than what it used to be. Now we can still improve on this, for which we could make use of the effects. So based on the image, we could search for appropriate effects from the effects library here to add more to the already existing output. Let me show you what I have already added. So for the initial image, since this is a crowd image, I just added a sun effect which comes from the nature. After that, I've added a fuzzy effect when I am transitioning from one image to the other. Since this image has got a lot of warning based feel, I have already added a warning effect on top of this. Coming towards the end here, since this is a love scene, there is a butterfly effect which adds more to the already existing image. And since this is a couple, I thought of adding a heartbeat which nicely transitions towards the next image. Here I have added a sun effect which spans over a couple of images, and towards the end I have added an effect called butterfly dream. And finally, this image I have added a diamond zoom where the image is slightly out of focus at the beginning, and as and when we move towards the image comes under focus. And just to add a bit more dynamicity, I have added the TV off and I have cropped the image towards the end. So if I move the mouse over, it feels like suddenly the whole thing got switched off before the final question is asked. So if I play only that portion.
More mindful of our digital footprint. What do you think would happen?
Now that is perfect. Adding appropriate SFX sounds conveys more emotions and feel to the overall edit. Here I have added a few. Some are from the motion array and some of them straight out of the Capcut audio effects section. This is just for demo purpose and not a full-fledged SFX editing. You could always add more if you wish to. Some of the sounds which I have added is a riser, a buzzer sound, a glitch, couple of message sounds. I'll play them once I will show the final output. Go through the edit and see if there are things which you can improve, and also make sure that the ratio which you have selected here is 9:16 if you haven't done till this point. And once everything is done, let's play it one last time.
Imagine a world where the digital heartbeat of our society suddenly stops. What happens if all social media platforms shut down for a day? The impact would be felt across the globe. Communication channels would go silent. No status updates, no tweets, no likes. Businesses relying on social media for marketing would scramble. Without targeted ads and viral campaigns, how would brands reach their audience? But perhaps amidst the chaos, there would be a silver lining. Real-life connections might flourish once again. Communities could rediscover the value of genuine interactions. And as the sun sets on this social media blackout, one question lingers. Would we emerge stronger, more connected, and more mindful of our digital footprint? What do you think would happen?
That's it for this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like if you appreciate the efforts behind these tutorials. I'll see you soon in another one. Thank you and bye bye.